Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dimitri. Today we're going to be working with some Numpys and matplot library so we can graph something, okay? Let's start by importing some libraries. So I have my two libraries here. I'm going to import my Numpys because we're going to do some data analysis, something very, some statistics, okay? And the second one, we're going to need a matplot library so we can graph later. We're gonna do like a scatter plot. All right, so in order to do that, we're going to create some data. So I have some data here. Let me just copy and paste it. So for this scenario, we're not gonna get data from Excel. We're just gonna get it from here because we have just few properties here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 car prices and 5 months. So if you have a scenario where you have to graph only, 5 variables and that's it, and you don't need to, go to an Excel file, then convert it to a CSV or get it from a SQL database. I mean, if you need to do something simple like this, uh, just copy and paste it here. I just created a list for the price and a list for the months. So just make sure that you have the same number of elements so we can graph those later. So in this case, I have 2, 4, 5 for each. All right. Since we already imported a Numpy library as NP, we're going to be able to access it here. So I can say something like np dot, and then I can call one of the methods. Let's pretend that I'm going to get the mean from my car prices list. Since these are numbers, and if I hover over here, um, I should be able to notice that those are integers and this is a list. It's just taking a few seconds. Okay, so car prices, this is a list, and Python will know that these are integers. Okay, so in this case, if you hover over here, uh, Python is gonna notice that this is a list, and if you hover over here, yeah, I don't know why, but it's taking a while. Okay, probably it doesn't know yet that this is a list of strings because it already knows that this is a list of integers. But okay, we're gonna be working on the car prices and we're gonna get the mean for that variable. So let's just bring it over. So I got the result here. So I think it'll be better to get this result in a variable so we can actually use it or print it out later. So I'll just create this variable. Let's call it mean price. That's going to be equal to whatever I have here. Alright, so if I want to print the result, I can say print, and then I'm going to print my mean price, and that's it. So I'm using numpys here. Let's just add a message here. We could add something like comma, so we separate the message and the actual result, and we could say something like this is the mean. That's it. All right, that's one example. Let's just pretend that we want to get something else from the NumPy library. So what I'm going to do is the same. I'm going to create a variable. In this case, I'm going to call the standard deviation, for example. So standard deviation cars, for example. So I'm going to say equal, and I'm going to do the same numpy. So I'm calling the library, right? And then there's a method that is called standard deviation. So I got it here, and I want the standard deviation from my mean price, right? So sorry, no, this is not what I want. I want the standard deviation for my car prices. So car prices. All right, so this is another function that we're getting from the numpys. What I need to do now is I just need to print it out. So let's just print standard deviation car. So I should be able to get two results here. So let me just get a message for this one as well. So I'll say this is the standard deviation, and then I should be able to get the result. So we're gonna run this in a couple of minutes. All right, let's create a graph because we already have those values here, and we have 2, 4, 5 values for prices and 5 values for months, and we already imported the library here. We could just call the library as plt. So I could say something like plt, and then I could say something like scatter. That's going to be one of the graphs that the library has, and then I want to do something like x and y. So if you have an axis x and y, in this case I'll pretend that months, because it's time, it'll be my x. So I wanna scatter plot my months and then my y, which is going to be my car prices. And let's see if that's gonna work. I'm not even sure, but let's just give it a try. So I'm gonna hit Ctrl F5. You just gotta make sure that you have all the steps in the right direction. Okay, it says that there's an error with the standard deviation, so let's see what's going on. So I'm creating a variable here. I'm calling the numpy. Then I'm calling my car prices variable. Okay, I got the error here, so I got a like a square bracket, didn't belong there. So let's just save this, and let's just hit Ctrl F5 again, and let's see what's going on. Let's just give it 1 second. Okay, so we have the results here. Here, so this is the mean. So you got the mean here, and this is the standard deviation, right? So you got the two results for the numpys, which is the mean and the standard deviation. All right, so we're missing the graph. So for the graph, we gotta say, you know what, I need to show this. So I call the library, but I gotta call this method as well as the end. So if we run this again, we should be able to see the graph. So we got the mean, the standard deviation, and we have the graph here. So that's perfect. So January, we got February, March, June, and July. We got the results. So everything is working for now, and that's perfect. So the results were blue, right? So the color was blue. You can just play around with the graph, and you could include something here like comma color is going to be equal to red, for example, and that'll give you something different. So that's gonna give you all the scatter plot in red color. So that's pretty much everything for today. You could also change the size with S, so you can just play around with the graph. That's pretty much everything for today. I hope you guys like the video, and I'll see you in the next video.